والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته متابعين في كل مكان. وأريد اليوم البث هذا يوصل إلى 1000 مشاركة. البث هذا مختلف من نوعه تماما. البث هذا يرفع رأس كل يمني، وبث يجب أن نفتخر فيه، ويجب المشاركة، مشاركة وطنية لهذا البث. وأنا أعتقد أنه بدل ما تسوون بث لأشياء لا تغني ولا تسمن الجوع، هذا الفيديو الذي يفتخر فيه كل مواطن يمني في الداخل والخارج. اليوم أنا في هذا المكان الرائع سأنقل لكم مباشرة حفل توزيع المنح المالية وشهادات التقدير للمتفوقين من أبناء الجالية اليمنية هنا في ولاية ميشيغان، والذي تنظمه الجمعية الامريكية للطلاب والمهنيين اليمنيون الامريكيون هنا في امريكا. اذا سنكون معكم في هذا البث المباشر لتوزيع المنح المالية والدراسية والشهادات التقدير للمتفوقين من ابناء الجالية اليمنية والمتفوقات ايضا والمهنيين المتفوقين في ولاية ميشيغان. كونوا معنا في هذا التغطية الجميلة، ولا تنسوا مشاركة البث للجروبات ولصفحاتكم، لأن هذا الشيء فعلا كما ذكرنا يدعو للمفخرة ويدعو للفخر. فكونوا معنا في هذه التغطية الجميلة. بسم الله. Rana, are you sure you're gonna be there? I'm not covering you. Ouch. اوكي الشباب، اذا ما في صوت او في شيء بلغونا. ها طبعا بعد لحظات سيبدأ الاحتفال، وسنكون معكم بهذه التغطية الرائعة من هنا من هذه القاعة، قاعة بيوبولس، لنبث لكم احتفالية توزيع المنح الذي تقدمها Aaysp للطلاب المتفوقين والمهنيين اليمنيين هنا في الولايات المتحدة الامريكية. ارجو مشاركة البث، لان هذا هو النجاح والفوز الحقيقي، وان نرى طلابنا المتفوقين وهم يحصدون الشهادات العليا.
How's everyone doing? On behalf of the American Association for Yemeni Students and Professionals, I would like to welcome you all to our 12th annual Aaysp Scholarship Ceremony. Throughout the evening, we will be recognizing students, community members, and leaders who have demonstrated their commitment to education and the success of our Yemeni American community. My name is Hisham Al-Daybani. I graduated from Fordson back in 2019, and I'm a student at Wayne State University, majoring in biomedical engineering. First, we would like to thank our sponsors and our guests who joined us today. And we also want to thank our awardees and scholarship recipients for their effort and great work they have all put in. We would like to also thank our sponsors for their support and generosity, and I would like to move your attention to the tables in the back. We have Finjan coffee, and we have rice, they have cookies. And please give both a visit. Organization actually have to. We would like to thank our sponsors, Soho Banquet and Event Center, and Isamatana, Dearborn Public Schools, Dearborn Fresh, American Muslim Society, TEE Academies, Greenland Market, Naima Saad, Islamic Center of Detroit, also known as ICD, Pure Hands, Ibrahim Nasser Legacy, Jihad Naji CPA, Papaya Fruit Market, Yemeni American News, Najib Al-Darwi CPA, Athletica Women's Tennis Club, Finjan Cafe, and lastly Bar Juice, also known as Vitamin Juice. As a Yemeni American student, and although I'm not a recipient of the Aaysp Scholarship, it was still an amazing thing to see. The fact that such organizations exist make me and other people like me proud. and knowing that our community is there to support us, to motivate us, and to push us forward into pursuing our dreams is beyond any words. It is all thanks to Allah and to the great people who have dedicated their time and effort to support us and make such events possible. Organizations such as the Aaysp are a blessing. And I'm standing before you today to support my community, all in hopes of giving back. Our mission is to promote higher education, as we believe that it is the right of every human being to have access to proper learning. Education is the key to knowledge. It is the power. It empowers us to create and innovate. And in the world we live in today, to be powerful is to be educated. And throughout the years, our community has been expanding. And year after year, a new generation is born with great potential and high ambition for success. But without your support, little can be achieved. Our amazing students have shown a great record of success and achievements, which is something we are really proud of. And we are here as an organization, supporting them along their journey as they break through barriers in ways we could have never imagined. A stronger Yemeni American community begins in this room, filled with bright minds, hope, and a lasting commitment for excellence in education, career, and community. After all, they are a reflection of us, and as mentors, educators, friends, family, and supporters, it is our duty to support them, to guide them, and to recognize how far they have all come. And at this time, I would like to welcome our chapter's president, Renee Muhammad. Renee is a current student at Wayne State University, going into her final year studying public health honors and biology, with the goal of studying medicine and working within community health. She's an active member on and off campus and has a day job of working as caseworker at Access Community Health and Research Center. Please join me in welcoming her on stage.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Renee Muhammad, and I have had the amazing honor in helping lead the Michigan chapter as president for the past 2 years, and before that, serving at the board for 1 year, originally serving as campus sport coordinator. Can I just say how happy we are to have everyone come together and reconvene in person nearly after 2 years. This event and organization as a whole could not be possible without the hard work and planning of the Board of Volunteers, and most importantly, the gracious sponsors of this year. This could not be possible without you. We also owe it to the current and former board members for the organization who have set the stage to lead us into such an influential organization. As many of you know, Aaysp is the only Yemeni American organization that has the sole focus and purpose of educational and professional success among the individuals within the community. Our vision is to create a solid cultural foundation that promotes higher education, research, and community service for future generations of Yemeni Americans. We were established to promote the value of education among Yemenis and to support the academic achievement of Yemeni American students. Our vision is to build empowered Yemeni American communities with the infrastructure and resources to maximize academic success, community engagement, and eliminate the culture barriers concerning education. Because of that, that makes this event all the more special to us. To get a chance to award the amazing students, educators, administrators, and members of the community. I remember when I first got involved with Aaysp. I had just started my freshman year at Wayne State and wanted to find a way to ease the transition. The transition from high school to college isn't the easiest, so I thought this would ease it along. It makes it easier that Aaysp mission was one that I wholeheartedly believed in, as I was always encouraged in education with my family, especially my grandfather, Allah yarhamhu. I joined as a college readiness coordinator. A year later, the year COVID-19 pandemic happened, a pandemic that affected us all, for some more than others. The world as we knew it became different overnight. Everyone was forced to adjust. We lost members of the community, we lost loved ones, and we lost the world we had become accustomed to. I would like to ask all of us to take a moment of silence. Please take the moment, to pray for the loved ones we lost, or just take a moment to self-reflect on what we have lost for the past couple of years. All right, thank you. When the pandemic came, Aaysp was no exception to having our life flipped upside down. We had to figure out what we were going to do. Most of our programs were reliant on being in person, such as our college readiness program, our monthly mentoring program at Edsel Ford High School, our college tours, and more. We even made the painful decision to cancel our gala out of the public safety for the community. However, even with all of these obstacles, we decided our mission was more important than ever. We turned virtual, all the way from the board meetings, all the way to our programs. For the first year of the pandemic, students weren't getting the education they needed. They were getting burnt out, along with the educators, and were exhausted as ever when it came to the college process. We were able to take advantage of all of our social media pages, including infographics, webinars, and holding college readiness Zooms with youth-led organizations and schools. One thing we are extremely proud of that we launched between this period is our mentorship website, where individuals can essentially shop for a mentor from a variety of different professions. Virtual, free, and accessible for all. A mentor makes an exponential difference to the success of an individual, and we at Aaysp saw an absence of that happening in our community, mostly how difficult it even is to approach the topic. We saw the barrier and we actively addressed it. We urge all the awardees, high school students, and college students to try it out and let us know what you think. For the last year, we slowly brought our programs back to person as it became safer to do so. With partnerships from the Yemeni student associations of the different nearby universities, such as the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and Wayne State University, we were able to get back to our college tours. It makes a huge difference to see someone from the same cultural background as you, who had the same experiences as you, and went through the same problems as you growing up, giving you the tour. We hear frequently of the difference it made to the students seeing someone being able to do it, seeing someone being able to succeed, because most of the students at that point do not even know how to do it, and they can't imagine themselves doing it either. What's special about our tours that differs from the tours that the colleges give is we have a question and answer session in both Arabic and English for the ESL students and for the regular Yemeni students. This gives a chance for the students to voice their concerns and relieve some of their worries and anxiety when it comes to going into college, while forming that connection with the Yemeni Student Association, an important part of campus for these students, and the Aaysp, where we can continue helping them along with their campus experience. It reduces the imposter syndrome most of us feel, and it can make the biggest impact. In addition, we continue with our Yemeni American Professional Program, led by Mohammed Salah, also coined as Yak Day, where we showcase individuals of different professions and have an idealistic look into what it is like to work in the profession after your education is done. We stream our Yak Day through our Instagram, our Facebook, and we love that it is virtual, accessible for everyone 24/7. When it's at either 3 a.m. and you can't go to sleep and you're worrying about that one profession, you can always go into our Instagram, look into our stories, and being able to see that profession live at work from Yemeni American. The audience gets this chance to see the profession at work, be able to reach out and connect to the individual. We have had professionals such as State Representative Ibrahim Ayash, Realtor Aman Nasser, Dental student El Hassan Darhan, Social Work Matic Safe of Dearborn Public Schools, and more. Throughout this last year, and this is a program near and dear to my heart, is our pilot program named the Teen Empowerment Program, with the help of a grant from Access's Teen Grant Initiative. This program was inspired by my own work that I did at Access Community as a caseworker. We walked students through topics such as burnout, mental health, their map of their dreams, which is essentially what they hope to achieve for the next couple of years, and what you can do to make that become a reality. And topics in college readiness, such as picking a major, and the best study methods that engage in active learning. In addition, throughout this past year, we have helped students apply for college, answer questions as they come up, and facilitated FAFSA workshops in partnership with the schools in Hamtramck, and made that daunting process a bit easier. Before I step off, I would like to share one tip of advice to the incoming college students and their parents. Never underestimate the love and support of your parents and their family and what they are capable of. One thing I have never forgotten in my college journey so far is how every time I worried and freaked out about an exam or project was the dua of my mother. Those exam scores didn't matter much in hindsight, although my dad will tell you otherwise based on my reaction about it, but the love and support I had in the moment stayed with me, and it meant the whole world and more. So to the students, please don't be afraid to voice your worries and allow your family to help you to their capability. To the parents and families, be proud of your awardee. They have made amazing accomplishments, and inshallah all of the happiness and success to come in their next stage of the journey. Next, I would like to award another member of Aaysp, Aaysp Michigan, to present the next round of awards. He is a small business owner right here in the heart of the South End Dearborn community, and is currently in his gap year looking to transfer to study cybersecurity. Please help me welcome him to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone doing tonight? You guys need to lighten up a bit, right? Let's get a round of applause for everyone here. First, I would like to thank the main reason we are here, which is our awardees, for everything they have done for this, the hard path that some people will look at it that it was easy, but it's one of the most complicated things to do. Please let's give a round of applause for their hard work and their dedication. Secondly, I would like to give a huge round of applause to the backbone of all those students and all the awardees we are awarding tonight, because without that backbone, they wouldn't be where they are today. I would like to give a huge round of applause to their parents, their friends, and everyone that helped them along the way. Lastly, I am honored to be a part of this amazing organization, the Aaysp. Thank you for everything you guys have done for our communities and our students. Now, since I'm done talking about everyone else, I have to talk about me. Not really, but my name is Aaysp Michigan. This is probably the first time you guys have seen me, because this is my first year in the Aaysp. I graduated from Oakland International Academy in Hamtramck, Michigan. Growing up, I was always very competitive and learning and doing the best I can. It wasn't always school I was competitive in. It was in everything I was doing, and that's what's led me to the position I am in now, an owner of multiple cell phone stores. Not to brag, but it just to show you guys and encourage you guys and what I have done and anyone else can do. My point here is to show you guys that everyone can be successful in their own way. Correct, education is really important, and knowledge is, but it could be in anything. Once you complete school, you can go on to doing different things, but it's the dedication that you need. But my success wasn't only by me. It's from the people in the background that maybe at that moment you don't know about, but in the future you'll remember that without them in that part of your life, maybe you wouldn't have been as successful as you are today. It could be from the support of one teacher. It could be the support of one friend. It could be the support of even one word. One small nice word from you could change a person's life, you never know. So we should all help support each other, and one part of my support in my life when I was growing up was the administrators I had. Administrators are an important part of the school. This includes principals, vice principals, dean of students, counselors, and more. They dedicate how the school will run and can maximize the impact that the school has on students. We will take this opportunity to award the amazing administrators we have. To start off this awarding ceremony, we are going to introduce our amazing administrators. To the person that I know personally, this candidate is Administrator of the Year along with one more. She was the Dean of Students throughout all of my high school, Aaysp. look at this thing. Frequently called Miss Inas by her students or Mom, as they say. She graduated from Ain Shams University in Cairo, Egypt, with a Bachelor of Arts, Science and Education, Arabic. With her background in Arabic language and teaching skills in Kuwait, Miss Inas arrived at Oakland International Academy in 1999, teaching Arabic language until 2002. After her 13 years teaching Arabic, Miss Inas began her career as Dean of Students in 2012 at Oakland International Academy High School in Hamtramck, Michigan. Along with her motivation, enthusiasm, dedication, warm, and caring personality, Miss Inas wanted nothing more than to have all her children become more successful and become great learners, to create an atmosphere that is stimulating, encouraging, and adapting to the needs of each student that walked through OIA. Please give another round of applause for her. Now, on to the next awardee. She has been an educator for 18 years and has been the counselor at Edsel Ford High School for the past 5 years. She began her education at Henry Ford and continued at the University of Michigan Dearborn, where she earned her degree in elementary education. In 2007, she furthered her education with a Master of Arts in ESL, endorsement from the University of Michigan Dearborn. She takes her job seriously and always makes it her goal for her students to be college and career ready. She even stated that the best part of her job is having those same students come back to visit her and tell her all about what she did at Edsel Ford High School for each and every one of them. We now would like to give a big round of applause for Hala Muhammad. Please give another round of applause to the administration. Now, to start off with our students. Our student of the year. To kick this off, our future, the future of our upcoming generation of students. And mainly our student of the year. This student of the year award is for Ronnie. Ronnie is an accomplished student who has been awarded the prestigious honor of being a Questbridge Scholar and a Jack Kent Cook Scholar at the Stanford University, where he will be an incoming freshman this fall studying bioengineering, neuroscience, and the community health. Please join us to welcome and award Ronnie, and please get up Ronnie.
First, I'd like to thank the Aaysp for this award and for being chosen as a scholarship recipient. I am honored and extremely grateful to the organization and to the generous donors. I wanted to start with a thought-provoking question. What is a community? Is it a group with a shared location? Is it a supportive cast of familiar faces? Or is it both? I'd like to believe that it is a people who vie for their collective good and strive against the backdrop of education. When I sit and think about my place in this world, I see my friends, I see my family, I see those who I have affected and those who have affected me. I cannot pull myself from them no matter the effort I expend, because I am them. We are products of our community, and I am truly blessed to be part of such a nurturing and fulfilling one. I take such pride in being Yemeni American, standing amongst great Yemeni Americans. Anything less than leaving our mark on this world, letting it know who we are and where we came from, is unacceptable. To establish our mark, we prioritize our education. We have been given the garden, the tools to reshape it, and the seeds to plant it. Surely trying to use our hands to hollow the dirt and letting the tools rust will stain us and leave the garden left. Not using the tools we were given would leave the garden yearning for better teach, and the seed would produce little more than wilted flowers. This analogy is the best way I can truly encapsulate what our educational experience has given us and what it will continue to give us for the rest of our lives. We, proud Yemeni Americans, are the gardeners in this analogy, and the world is our garden. We are ambitious in our goals. At the same time, we show reverence for the community that produced us. Together, these qualities position us to be pioneers in the sciences and arts. And even with the unfortunate crises our people and country face, we must not allow weight to cloud our ambition. Rather, we should be optimistic about the future, because our community remains steadfast behind us. We will solve humanitarian crises. We will advance the field of medicine. We will engineer the impossible, and we will be successful because of our educational experiences. In this experience, I want to thank the Aaysp for their honor, as well as for pushing students like myself to pursue higher education. It is the support and encouragement you provide for us that will help us to reach our aspirations. So again, the rest of the recipients and I thank you for hosting this event and for the services you provide for the state of education in our community. Finally, to everyone else, especially my fellow recipients, I encourage you to value the resources and tools you are provided with, to take advantage of them, and to use them wisely to further your endeavors, as well as a blessing of God. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum.
Next, we will be awarding our amazing educators. These are passionate educators who come into work every day, providing inspiration to these students. The teachers awarded today are the perfect representatives of the Aaysp mission, as they make an amazing effort into making school a more enjoyable and comfortable place to be in. To the teachers, we are so proud and appreciative of all the love, joy, and infinite you have given to your students, their community, and most of all, the family. Not all heroes wear capes, and every one of us can be a hero. We can all be leaders our own way, but some are exceptional. Those who try to make a difference in people's lives, and sometimes it's the smallest things that make a difference. We congratulate each and every one of you, and wish all of life's happiness to you, just like you have given to your students. Let's give a round of applause for all the teachers. At this time, I would like to call my co-MC, Yunus Merchant, to help with the awards. Our first teacher for the year is going to be Samir Abdullah. Samir Muhammad Abdullah is one of the amazing teachers at Yunus Middle School. Samir was born and raised in Dearborn and is a proud graduate of Dearborn Public Schools, attending Salina Elementary, Stout Middle School, and Fortson High School. He went on to pursue undergrad at Henry Ford Community College and Eastern Michigan University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in teaching students with a cognitive impairment. Additionally, Samir attended Western Michigan University's law school, where he completed and earned his doctorate degree. Samir began working with students with disabilities as a paraprofessional in 1998 and continued to substitute as a teacher within his pursuit for higher education. He then began his career as a full-time teacher in the fall of 2010 at Yunus Middle School. Starting this fall, he will assume his new role as a behavior specialist at Dearborn Public Schools. Please join me in welcoming Samir Abdullah to stage and awarding him one of our Teachers of the Year. Now moving on to our next Teacher of the Year, Najat Muhammad. Mrs. Muhammad has been teaching for over 2 decades. She received her bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan and her master's from May Group. Then Mrs. Muhammad continued her studies and earned her ECL endorsement from Wayne State University. Najat has taught at Salina Elementary for many years and is now teaching at Salina Intermediate. For most of her career, she has taught elementary grades, but recently had the opportunity to teach a special class called AVID, Advanced via Individual Determination, which gave Najat the chance to guide her middle school students in understanding the fundamentals of college and career readiness. Mrs. Muhammad's philosophy in education is all about building relationships with students and their families. Najat believes that trust, comfort, and love are 3 important factors in creating a safe and productive educational experience for all students. Having an open communication with students and being there for them will provide and foster an environment that will help every student thrive and prosper. An environment that will help every student thrive and prosper in their own way. Najat truly believes that having a trusting relationship, the students then be able to be active learners, collaborate, and critically think outside the box. She works with the most dedicated team of professionals at Salina Elementary who bring their own passion and love for the students and community on a daily basis. Please join me in awarding Najat Muhammad as our second Teacher of the Year. Another Teacher of the Year is awarded to Afaq Saleh of Salina Elementary. And she unfortunately is not here to accept her award. However, we will be awarding her at a later time. Suzanne Stanley from Salina Elementary Principal will be accepting this award on her behalf. Let's give another round of applause for Suzanne. Please join me in awarding the next and final awardee for Teacher of the Year. She's a mother of two, Omar and Ali. Nehmat has been teaching since 2001, beginning in Lebanon. She continued to teach after moving to America with her family in 2006. She has taught at AL and Science Academy and is currently teaching at the same school, now called International Islamic Academy. Among her hobbies are baking, cooking, arts, and crafts. She studied Ulum al-Quran and Islamic fiqh in addition to Ulum Sharia. She is currently studying therapeutic nutrition and enjoys her journey as a lifelong learner. She always asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sincerity and acceptance of her work and for bringing her teaching to be a source of benefit for this generation. We'd like to award Naima Ido the Teacher of the Year Award. Let's give another round of applause for her. Year after year, the Aaysp Scholarship Gala has evolved to be more than just a ceremonial event, where deserving students are awarded scholarships for their hard work and effort. It has blossomed into an occasion that celebrates growth, continuous growth, and unity amongst our wonderful community. Countless individuals have sacrificed their time and effort for the good of this community, but there are always those who go the extra mile and overachieve in contributions to the neighborhood and youth. Now going in to give a very important award, our Community Member of the Year. And at this time, I would like to call our National Board Vice President, Aaysp Michigan, a dedicated board. This next awardee is an exemplary example of community service. Ahmad Thabit is a Yemeni American born in Detroit, Michigan, and was raised in Hamtramck. You might also know him because of his media company, OZ Media, where he is the host of his podcast, The Table Talk, or The Movement, on Instagram, where he tackles a variety of topics, frequently about the important experiences we go through here in our community. An amazing example of community-based journalism. Or you might know him out and about in the community, organizing events such as Midnight Madness, a charity basketball game held in Ramadan with Hamtramck and Dearborn students, where he brought the two communities together for a good cause. Omar is currently a physical education teacher, an athletic director, and a coach at Hamlin International Academy in Hamtramck, Michigan. He also writes for the Yemeni American News. Omar enjoys helping the community and bringing people together, and we are so proud to award him our Community Member of the Year. Let's give another round of applause for Omar. Our keynote speaker for the night. Our keynote speaker for the night will be Aaysp Ali. Aaysp Ali is a child of Yemeni immigrants. Her parents immigrated to the United States seeking a better future for themselves and their children. Today, she runs a successful law firm serving the immigration needs for clients throughout the country. She has broken barriers and provided an infinite impact for the families she has served. She understands that immigration can be a complicated process, and her goal is to try to simplify it and ease it for her clients. Please welcome Aaysp Ali on stage.
My name is Aaysp Ali. I'm a Yemeni American, and I'm an attorney that litigates cases nationwide. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm humbled to be here today speaking at this event. I want to thank the American Association of Yemeni Students and Professionals for hosting this event and the organizers that made this possible. I also want to congratulate all the students, scholarship recipients, honorees, and awardees. To all the students and scholarship recipients, please take a moment and remember to thank the parents, loved ones, and everyone that helped you to get to where you are today. Now, if you would allow me, I want to take a minute to reflect on my educational journey in hopes of inspiring others. As a Yemeni female coming from a conservative family, education was frowned upon after the 5th grade. However, I didn't take a no for an answer. After I started the 6th grade, my parents took me to Yemen, and that's when my grandmother decided that it was time for me to get married. So as soon as I turned 13, I became a married woman. Thankfully, my parents realized that I was still a young kid, enjoyed playing outside for the majority of the day, so they decided to hold off a few years before we conducted the ceremony. After that, we came back to the United States. No one in our community was attending junior high school. That's why I decided to go ahead and enroll in a homeschooling program. My father agreed to the homeschooling program, so I grabbed the phone book. I don't know if many of you still remember the phone book, but it existed back in my time. And I started to look for homeschooling programs. I finally found one, and I got my dad's permission and I enrolled in it. That was where my educational journey began, in the sense that I had to learn how to be both the teacher and the students. My parents didn't know how to read and write, so I had to learn how to teach myself how to do several subjects. After that, I attended high school. Attending high school was very hard. I didn't have access to the internet, I didn't have a computer, I didn't have access to many of the items I needed in order to go to high school. However, I did whatever I can in order to complete my high school. But it was during my high school career where my life changed. It was when my father got incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit. I saw my father, an innocent guy, behind bars. I didn't know what to do, but one thing I knew for sure is I wanted to help my dad. My dad was my inspiration. My dad was the guy that I woke up every morning to. He would wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. He would go to work. He refused to ever put us on public assistance, refused for us to get any medical treatment unless it was from his own money. Seeing my dad work day in, day out for his family is why I adored and admired my dad very much. I would wake up every morning, I would make my dad's coffee. My siblings thought I was a brown nose in the family, which was fine with me if it was for my father. So when my dad got incarcerated, I was 15 years old, and I was the only one out of my siblings, although not the oldest, that knew how to read and write and how to take care of things. We knew that we had to hire lawyers. My dad was facing very severe charges. And that's when I started to call up many of my dad's friends. My dad was a very well-respected and known individual within the community. He held very high positions for about 20 years. But as soon as I started calling his friends, many of them shied away. Many of them hung up their phones. Many of them were not there when we expected them to be. That's why I always say, make sure that you choose your right friends. Friends that will be there for you during the good and the bad. It was during this time that law enforcement didn't just take my dad. They took everything that we had. They took our homes, they took our cars, they took our money, but we weren't ready to give up. My mom, being one of the strongest women alive, took into initiative to make sure that the family kept going. And that is when I knew that if I had gone the education that I need, I can get my dad out. And that's where I spent day in and day out studying. I made sure to graduate high school early. I did it in 3 years. Whether it meant sleeping 3 hours a day or whether it meant staying up all day. One thing that I hated about high school is that my mom gave us home chores that we had to do, even though I wanted to go to high school. And the job that I hated was cleaning dishes. She made sure to make that hard on me. But I made sure to clean dishes if it meant that I get my education and I get my dad out. After that, going to college, I knew would be hard. Because in order to go to college, they didn't have an online program back then. So I had to enroll in a college. College was a few miles away from our house. So the conditions that my parents set for me in order to go to college was that I would have to take my brother with me. My brother loved to sleep in, so trying to wake him up every morning was definitely a challenge. But on certain days, I would wake up, I would change the clock, I would make it reflect that it was 7 o'clock, even though it was 5 o'clock. I would make him breakfast. I would do whatever it took in order for him to take me to school. On certain days, he just wouldn't give in. He would want to sleep in, and that's when I walked to college. For many years, I walked to and from college, but for my dad, I was willing to walk a million miles. With that, many of my teachers saw that on a lot of days I was not able to attend college. If the weather was too bad, if it was impossible for me to make it. However, my professors always believed in me. I had 3 professors. One of them was a judge, another one was a police chief, and another one was a forensic expert. Those are the 3 professors that I am in debt to, because but for them, I would not be the person I am today. After completing college, my dad was offered a plea deal. A plea deal where he would have to plead guilty to a crime he did not commit. Although I was against that plea deal, I was the one that had to convince my dad to take it, because any deal is better than no deal. Even though my dad did take that plea deal, I still did not want to give up. I still wanted to fight for the assets that the government took away from my family. That's why I decided to go to law school. I went to law school. The law school that I chose was the law school that was near where I resided. And the reason why I chose that law school is that, well, the reason why I didn't want to go to that law school initially was that it was a religious law school. Specifically, it was a Christian law school. And that's when I approached my dad. I was like, it's the closest, it's the most convenient. However, I don't know how my mates would feel in the event that I would go to a Christian law school. And my dad said, remember what I've taught y'all. We respect our religions, just like our religion teaches us. And that's when I decided to go to Mississippi College School of Law. In the beginning, my mates and my professors weren't as welcoming. But with time, I was able to change their mind. I became one of them. I will say, graduating from law school was a blessing. I made sure to graduate early before my peers. I did law school in 2 years and a half, even though I was a mother of 1 child and pregnant with my second. I also passed the bar prior to all my peers, and when I passed the bar, it was the lowest passage history in Mississippi history. And even when they called me to tell me that I passed the bar, I still didn't believe it. I was waiting for them to call me back and tell me it was a mistake. But thankfully, they didn't make it. They did not call me back, and I was sworn in. The day that I was sworn in is a very important day for me. I remember getting my certificate, going to the restroom, and crying. Because I finally made my dad's dream come true. I finally have what I need in order to help others. After I became a lawyer, I worked at a place. This place did not understand what it meant for a female to work as a lawyer. Although we're in the South, less than 20% of lawyers are females. In Mississippi specifically, we have less than 1% of foreign attorneys, or that are non-white or non-black. That is when I decided to leave. And then I went to my second job. I had two bosses that truly inspired me. They led and showed me how to run a firm. They showed me and inspired me how to be a lawyer. That's when I started litigating cases nationwide. Today, I am recognized as one of the top 40 lawyers in the United States within the field of immigration law. I have received numerous awards. I have received numerous honors. I have been on several newspaper articles, on several media outlets. However, my main goal has always been to ensure that all my clients get the representation they need and deserve. The representation that my father did not get, but the representation that now I can provide to others. I will say, whether I'm in Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, or Dallas, Texas, I want to make sure that I litigate the case to the best of my ability to ensure that my clients are fairly treated. I will say, a lot of times when I show up to court, whether I'm in Rosario, New Mexico, Atlanta, Georgia, or in New Orleans, Louisiana, judges and opposing counsels don't like to see me because they know that I will litigate the case at the end to ensure that my clients are acquitted or that my clients are released from detention. But that's the best part. I have two judges that have truly influenced me, and I know the speakers prior to me have mentioned how one person could definitely inspire you, specifically by Eunice, who stated that. And it's true. I have two judges. One of them is Judge Pelletier. Judge Pelletier is known for denying 99.9% of cases. One day I appear in front of Judge Pelletier after appearing in front of him for 2 straight days, and he consistently lists the same cases every day as to why he denies cases. So I go in there on the third day, and I'm like, before you even start, let me make my arguments. He's like, go ahead, the floor is yours. I dispute every single one of his cases and as to why they do not relate to my client or why my client should be released out of detention. And he's like, Ms. Holly, well done, but no, I'm still denying your case. And then after that, he called me up and said, you remind me of my daughter. And ever since, he saw me at a different way. The second judge is Judge Baumgarten. If you read about Judge Baumgarten, she's probably the worst judge in immigration history. And when I say she's bad, she's bad. But whenever I appear in her court, she gets excited. She knows we're gonna argue about it. And one day specifically, I go in there and I argue for 9 straight hours. This is for a bond hearing, 9 hours. And then she grants my case. No one believed that she granted my case, but I wasn't gonna take no for an answer on that specific day. But it's Judge Baumgarten and Judge Pelletier that make me look up the law, that make me the great attorney that I am today. Lastly, my law firm. Opening up a law firm is without a doubt very challenging. It's one thing that's viewed as very prestigious, but it's a lot of hard work. But I wanted to make sure that if I opened up my own law firm, I did it with my own sweat, with my own money, just like my dad. Thankfully, today I own a 7-figure business. I employ many individuals. We have won many awards and recognition. But one thing I've learned as being a boss is that you have to respect everybody. You gotta keep in mind what others think. And change is okay. There's been days where I thought that things won't be okay and change kind of scares me, but actually change can be a good thing. Lastly, I want to leave you with a few advices. These are advices that I wish someone had told me prior to becoming a lawyer and prior to my educational history. First is that you'll always go through many failures, and that's okay. You succeed by failing. But for my failures, I would not be the person I am today. I do want to give one example. This was during COVID. During COVID, almost everyone in my office had COVID. My reception was the only one that did not get COVID. And with it being a big firm, she called me and told me that she cannot handle the work anymore and had to quit. While I had one employee in the office, I couldn't go to the office, nor can any of the employees. I thought that was the end of it. Little did I know that I would get another reception the next day, and it would be one of the best receptions, who's still employed there today. Secondly, be proud of who you are and where you come from. I will tell you this, especially as an individual that practices in the South. Many attorneys have never seen a Muslim attorney. So when I go in there, I've had many judges ask me if I know how to speak English. And once I present my case, and once I show that I can actually advocate for my client, it actually shocks them. I think I've had more judges impressed and wink at me than any other individual. But they come to respect and appreciate that. Thirdly, connections and networking. Right before coming to today's event, I had traveled to Yemen. From Yemen, I was in Egypt for a few days, and Italy, Dubai, New York, and now in Michigan. But I travel almost every other week to a different state litigating cases. But in almost every state, I know someone. And whether it's a clerk, whether it's an officer, whether it's opposing counsel, whomever it is, they will always get you out. So make sure you build on your connections. Next, inspire others as you are inspired and lead by example. I have had 8 to 9 interns. I have made sure that whenever they left my office, they left as better individuals and as better professionals. So in order to lead, you gotta know how to inspire others. My dad was my inspiration. My professors were my inspiration. Use that to inspire others. Next, which may be a tad bit surprising, is don't be expected by all, especially your own community. I thought as a lawyer, especially in Mississippi, I get calls during the day and during the night from my community, and I'm out there assisting and helping. But during certain periods, I realized that not every Yemeni is open to a female education. And that's okay. My job is not to change their mind, but rather to continue doing what I'm doing, and one day, hopefully they'll be convinced. But don't expect to be liked by everybody, and that's okay. Surround yourself with good people, even if it means having one friend. And this is something I learned from my dad's case. Having one friend can be as having 10 friends. I've had friends that I've tested several times. It's a habit that I have, and they've shown that they're loyal. They've shown that they'll be there. Make sure you surround yourself with people that you know will be there. Next, don't push yourself along the way. Be humble, respect, and keep your word. And this is really important, regardless of where you get. I've seen people that have gone to higher places and have changed as individuals just because they have been promoted or whether they have excelled in life. Continue to respect everybody, and this is something I learned from my dad. Whether it's a CEO or a janitor, respect them the same way. Be humble, be kind, respect each other. And one thing I've learned from one of my paralegals, she's more of on the wiser side. She said, keeping your word speaks a lot on your integrity. One day, opposing counsel had told me that we were going to reach a deal. Once I showed up in court, they changed their mind and didn't stick to their word. And I didn't get why they did that. And that's when she told me, remember, and I told her how I don't respect that opposing counsel anymore, and I don't trust that opposing counsel. And she's like, you have every right to do so, because someone, by keeping their word, it speaks on their integrity, and it's true. So if you give someone your word, make sure you keep it. Next, I want to state a quote that's very dear to me. This is a quote by B.B. King. He stated that the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. And that is true. Because with your education, you are powerful. You are respected. It's your weapon. And it's your key to changing the world, and today, tomorrow, and in the future. And to provide, and also provide you with the opportunity to make a difference. It will make a difference every day, whether it's releasing an individual from detention. Yesterday, I got the news that we won a major case. This was a case where I argued back and forth with one of my colleagues as to which position to take. I always tell him that I'm always right. He disagrees, but we took my position and we won that case. It's probably one of our major cases, but I make a difference every day. I'm able to help those like my father. So with that said, as I am making change every day, you are too. You are our future. You are what is going to define the Yemeni community. So continue making history and continue making us proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asma, for your great words. We truly believe that you are an inspiration for countless number of people. Now comes our favorite part of the whole event, our students. Getting a chance to award our amazing scholarship awardees, the organization chooses these students holistically, meaning we look at all parts of their application. We know it's not all about GPA, but rather what you do to self-improve yourself and experience and community service. We would like to take this opportunity to mention how proud we are here at the Aaysp of the students today. You are going into a new journey that will guide you, and you will become the greatest that you think you will be. I would like to welcome Dr. Aaysp Michigan to the stage to call the student's name. Dr. Aaysp Michigan is the Vice President of the Aaysp National Board and Director of the Business Affairs at Wayne State University Law School. He also teaches education, leadership, and policy at Wayne State College of Education. Welcome, Aaysp.
Good evening, and first of all, thank you, Eunice, and thank you to all of you for being here today. I would like to express our gratitude to the volunteers that put this event together. I want to call them by name, if they can stand up, and we give them a round of applause. The president of the chapter for Michigan chapter, Renee Muhammad, Malakum Faye, Hisham Deybani, Yunus Murshid. Also would like to thank the volunteers, Wasim Al-Jamal, Dr. Muhammad Al-Riyashi, and Ayad Al-Shawhati for helping putting this event together. Also, I would like to acknowledge and thank the sponsors that have contributed and supported this event year over year to recognize the students. This event is all about students and educators and their achievements, especially those who are impacting our community. So I want to get to the main thing of this event, which is recognizing also the students. We have amazing students that will be recognized, and we ask them to provide a statement that reflects them. You see them, I was going to plan to read it here, but you've been seeing them in the slides. These are the statements that really moved us as, I was not part of this committee this year, but moved the committee as they deliberate and select them over 90 applications that we received. There are so many, it's hard to choose from, but the ones we could choose, we selected 20 of them. So I'm going to call the students. As I call the students, please come up over here. You will receive your award, and also I'll call upon the sponsor of the scholarships who contribute to the scholarship. If they're here, we'd love to have them come over here and present the scholarship. I'll start with first scholarship goes to Ahmed Ad-Duais. Ahmed is from Ben Carson High School of Science and Medicine, and he's attending Michigan State University. The scholarship is sponsored by Aaysp. The next scholarship is a special scholarship. It's personal to me because it's the Ibrahim Nasser Legacy Scholarship. Ibrahim was devoted to youth and giving back. Ibrahim passed away a few years ago, and we decided to put this scholarship in his name. to reflect his life and his legacy of giving back to the community and especially to the youth. I would like to ask first Yunus Wasif, who's one of the sponsors, and also Muhammad Nasser Abu Tariq, father of Ibrahim Nasser, to come up to the stage to present these two scholarships. Abu Tariq also is known for as a coach, as a founder of MISA, and being devoted also to youth in the community. So, first scholarship from Ibrahim Nasser Legacy Fund is to Muhammad Al Khayyat. Muhammad Al Khayyat is from Frontier International Academy and he's attending the University of Michigan, Dearborn. Yunus, please, wait, one more scholarship. The second scholarship goes to Suhaib Mus'ad. He's from Etzelford High School and attending Wayne State University. And we chose these students because also they reflect Ibrahim and his efforts in giving back, especially to the youth. Next scholarship to Isra As-Sanai from Frontier International Academy. She's attending Wayne State University. Her scholarship is from Dearborn Fresh and is presented by Renee Muhammad. Next scholarship is to Hanan Hanik. Is Hanan here? I don't see Hanan. But Hanan is from Fortson High School and attending Wayne State University. Next scholarship is Umayya Yahya from Menvendale High School University. She's attending University of Detroit Mercy, receiving Najib Ad-Darwish CPA scholarship and presented by Renee Muhammad. Next scholarship is to Asma Al-Haj from Henry Ford Early College, attending Henry Ford College, and her scholarship is from Anisa Muthanna, and presenting it is Ayad Al-Shawhati on behalf of Anita Muthanna. Next scholarship was also sponsored by Anisa Muthanna, go to Muna Muhammad from Universal Academy, attending Henry Ford College. Next scholarship is from Jihan Ahmed from Menvendale High School. She's attending Eastern Michigan University. The sponsorship is from Suho Banquet Center. Next scholarship is for Hanan Muazzad from Etzelford High School, attending University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Hanan's also my daughter. That's why I see it. I wasn't part of the selection committee. And presented by Renee Muhammad. Is to Hilal Beidoun from Etzelford High School, attending University of Michigan, and his Dearborn, and his scholarship sponsored by Jihad Naji CPA, and Mansour Sharha presenting the award on behalf of Jihad Naji. scholarship is to Munira Muhammad from Edsel High School, attending Henry Ford College, and is sponsored by Athletica Fitness Club. This scholarship is Hafid Mazid from University Academy, and he's attending Wayne State University, and his scholarship from Durban Fresh Supermarket.
Is that your son?
No. He's 2 more years, so ask Ms. Hassan. He's 2 more years. Next scholarship is Manat Maori from Fortson High School, attending Henry Ford College, and her scholarship is from Naima Saeed, presented by Dr. Muhammad Riyashi. We leave the best to the last, which is Rani Abdullah from Edsel High School, attending Stanford University. I'm told I skipped a page, so I did. I was proud of myself. I thought I did it very quickly. So, next is Shihab Abdullah from Edsel High School, attending University of Michigan. Next is scholarships. 2 scholarships will be presented by our keynote speaker, Asma Ali. If she can come up to the stage. Both scholarships are sponsored by Greenland Market, and first student receiving the scholarship is Meha Abu Bakr. Naha is from Durban High School and DCMST, and attending Henry Ford Academy. Next scholarship is Asma Sufyan from Durban High School and attending University of Michigan, Durban. Next scholarship is to Hassan Al-Jafari. Okay, Hassan is from Edsel University, attending University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and his scholarship is sponsored by the American Muslim Society. Last scholarship is to Ihsan Saleh from Henry Ford Early College, attending Henry Ford College, and her scholarship is sponsored by Pure Hands. And I would like to call Mr. Muhammad Mujalli, Sheikh Muhammad, to come to the stage and present the scholarship. Now I'll turn it to Renee.
now I'm just here for some final remarks. I'd like to say thank you to the audience, thank you to the students, the college students, the educators, the admin, the community members, the sponsors. This event could not be possible without you. And I would just like to get your attention to there one more time. If you would like some tea or some cookies before dinner, please visit those tables. They are graciously sponsoring the event as well. Now, for this time, I would like to call all the awardees back to the stage for a scholarship picture and to collect your gift card as well. So please come up to the stage with your certificate, and they will be starting dinner soon. بالعافية.
يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام. هنا يحلو الكلام، هنا تعجز الكلمات عن التعبير، هنا لا نستطيع إلا أن نقول ما شاء الله تبارك الله. هذه الأشياء التي ترفع الرأس، هذه اللحظات هي التي تجعلنا ننسى كل التعب، ننسى كل اللحظات العناء، كل شيء وكل المآسي، لحظات النجاح والتفوق. هذه كوكبة من أبنائنا من الطلبة المتفوقين والمتفوقات حاملين الشهادات، إن شاء الله نراهم في المراتب العليا إن شاء الله. كم هي جميلة هذه اللحظات، لحظات النجاح. ليس هناك شعور أجمل من هذا الشعور عندما نرى أبنائنا من الخريجين والمتفوقين يحصلون على شهادات التفوق. هؤلاء إن شاء الله هم الذي سيحملون على عاتقهم مسؤولية الأجيال القادمة. إن شاء الله نراهم في مكاتب التفوق وفي مكاتب المحاماة والطب والهندسة والطيران. شكرا لكم يا أبناء الجالية، رفعتم رؤوسنا. I need your attention guys, okay? You're gonna take nice pictures, okay? Here you go. خياط هنا. 1 2 3 and we need more. Hold on. يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام. وهنا يحلو الكلام. شكرا للدكتور أديب معزب، شكرا للجمعية الامريكية، للطلاب والمهنيين اليمنيين على هذا العمل الرائع الذي يرفع رؤوسنا كلنا.
Please stay on stage. I would like to call the teachers of the year, the admin of the year, and the community member of the year to the stage for the pictures.
فعلا ترفع لهم القبعات هؤلاء الشباب، هاي الكوكبة الجميلة. هنا الشغل الصح، هنا الاستثمار.
All right, once again, please, the teachers of the year, admin of the year, community member of the year, please come to the stage for pictures. And for the students, please stay on stage.
يا عم لي صورة، أنا بركن عليك، أنا فتاة لك. عمل لي صورة. شوف اهمس كده همسة دلالة.
I know, right. Outside.
3, 2, 1. Good.
Please stay on stage. One final picture with all of the sponsors, please.
Thank you.
Sponsors, please come to the stage for pictures.
مبروك يا مس إيناس، أحلى أدمنستريتور في العالم. Here it says give GX1, GX2. يا سلام، هذه اللحظات النهائية طبعا لالتقاط الصور للذكرى، صور الأشخاص الذين تكرموا من الطلاب والإداريين والناجحين والمتفوقين. شكرا لكل الداعمين لهذا الحفل الجميل، شكرا للسبونسر، شكرا لمن ساهم وقدم في نجاح هذا الحفل الرائع الذي احتفلنا بتفوق كوكبة من أبنائنا من الخريجين والمتفوقين. شكرا لكم، رفعتم رؤوسنا جميعا، وشكرا للدكتور عادل المعزب والجمعية الامريكيه للطلاب والمهنيين اليمنيين في الولايات المتحده الامريكيه. انا معكم عقيل الحلمي في تغطيه مباشره من هنا من قاعه لينكن مانور في هذا الحفل المباشر والحفل الرائع لتوزيع المنح، والف مبروك.
One last round of applause for all of the awardees. Alright, everyone is free to take a seat. Please enjoy your dinner.
صورة بس كذا مسكين اسمه. لا.
طب خلينا اجيب
طيب شوفي.
رنا متألقة صراحة. رنا فاجأتنا اليوم، ما شاء الله ما شاء الله، بسم الله ما شاء الله تبارك الله الموعد. ألف مبروك يا سلام، تفخرون بطلاب أوكلاند يعني.
بنتي حبيبتي
طبعا. Very proud, very proud.
ما شاء الله عليك. ما شاء الله عليك. No problem. يوفقك يا حبيبي القلب. يا حبيبي حبيبي يا يوسف.
That's the only reason I
ايه الكلام الحلو اللي انت قلته ده؟ تزوجت كلام. والله يعني الكلام اللي انا بعمله.
What happened to the giveaway? Where's it? That's what I said. Was she supposed to do a giveaway?
والله شفتكش خالص.
ضروري. دكتور عادل تعال اعمل صورة مع الشباب. تعال.
توكل على الله. معي حكومة هامترامك هنا، العمدة وأعضاء السري كانسل الدكتور أمير غالب عمدة مدينة هامترامك، والأستاذ محمد السميري، وأيضا الأستاذ خليل رفاعي أعضاء المجلس البلدي لمدينة هامترامك، والأخ خليل الخياط أبو الشاب المتفوق الذي حصل على الشهادة. يلا خليني أعمل لكم صورة لحالكم.
تعال معنا.
ما حلق إلا الصورة. بس كعمل واحدة بهذا. لا كرزين ده لا أنا اطرح لي أنا. عشان اطرح هذا. أيوة. كلنا. تاج شكرا جزيلا، شكرا جزيلا. وفي الختام متابعيني الأعزاء، وصلنا إلى ختام هذا الحفل التكريمي الجميل الذي أقامته الجمعية الأمريكية للطلاب والمهنيين اليمنيين هنا في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. هذا تم تكريم كوكبة من أبناء الجالية اليمنيين المتفوقين في الثانوية وأيضا المهنيين. شاركوا البث واستفيدوا من هذا الحفل الجميل. شكرا جزيلا لكم. كان معكم عقيل الحاج.